Sunday night. My daughter has taken all of the Halloween, all the Valentine's candy and put it in one of these containers. Do y'all have any containers like this? You know what this container is? So I went through a real home goods shopping stage, and I bought like a zillion of these things for the refrigerator. I guess I thought this was going to really make me organized. It does not make you organized. No. No, sirree, Bobby. It no not make you organized. But I have a lot of them. You want to see? Ready? Okay. This one we have filled with yogurts. And look at these. These are apple juices that my mother-in-law bought, which was so nice, but I've never seen them. No one will drink them. So they just live in here. And then we have this. This is the, oh, golly Moses. I've been looking for this stuff. If you have not ever had this, Engelhofer, if you're out there watching, I really like this sweet hot mustard. No one paid me to say that. This stuff is good. And damn, it's been hiding. I had no idea where it was. I mean, I have been looking and looking. Some LaCroix. And then Smithfield does these sauces. They're real good. That's one. One, two. Oh, this one is filled with Pizza Hut sauce and ketchup that we take from Chick-fil-A. And that's it. There's a watermelon in there that no one will ever cut. Love the fashion show. So I did a fashion show earlier today, which was really fun. Oh my gosh. I've eaten, I would just like to point out, there are 2 cookies left. I came home with 8. This is why I shouldn't eat cookies. I had a glass of wine with my neighbor on her porch, and now I'm eating cookies. And everybody else is watching CNN on the Murdochs. I'm not. No, I'm not. Because I just got Amos to bed. My daughter has said that she thinks she's sick. Oh my gosh. I mean, the sickness is going around here. How many kids do you have? I have 11. I have twin 3-month-olds, triplet 2-year-olds, quadruplet 4-year-olds, and then 2 other ones. No, I'm just kidding. What if I did? I'd be like that Octomom. Oh, God. No, I only have 4. I have teenage boys that are 15 and 17. Quadruplet 3-year-olds. I would die. And then I have a 13-year-old daughter and a little person with autism who's 9. Did Thomas pass along the message? Well, look who's watching me. Dawson Tyler, co-owner of Down East Preservation. No, I hadn't seen any Thomas. Thomas is playing tennis currently. Oh, I saw that, Leanne. And I had to take people to where? Church. They had church. That's where I ended up with all those cut and something cookies that I've eaten tonight. And just gotten Amos to bed and gotten Blair to bed. Yeah. And now I'm just sitting here with this dog who is very naughty because she knows she should not have gotten that hamburger roll. Lori count. Murdoch overload. Is American Idol on tonight? Oh my gosh. I love American Idol. Like it could be a sickness. I like it so much. Did you buy anything today from the boutique? Yes, you mean at the at my fashion show? So it was at Downtown Diva, which is this amazing store in Edenton. She has great prices. She's my friend Candace. And I did buy something. I bought this sweater with jaguars on it, and I bought a white shirt, and I bought a blue shirt, and I bought a white shirt, blue shirt, sweater. Was that it? I think that was it. People were real concerned that I was eating I had chocolate on my lip. I mean, I can't help that. I had been to Dairy Queen. So my face looks red because I'm taking an antibiotic because I had a sinus infection. And the doctor said, make sure if you go outside, you use plenty of sunscreen because you're taking doxycycline. So today I went outside and I did not use plenty of sunscreen. So now I'm sunburned. Hey, Treva, I'm a new subscriber. Oh, I'm excited you're here. Subscribers have a real good time. Are you not watching the CNN special on Murdoch? I mean, I'm not addicted to the TV. Are your kids off from school tomorrow? No. Which could be good. Oh, and I got a green shirt. Thank you, Pat. Which could be good or bad, depending on. Mondays are super tricky at our house. Well, maybe they're tricky at everybody's house, but Amos with 9 and autism. I did not buy the pink shirt. Oh my God, they're driving me crazy over what I bought at the fashion show. I got the green shirt. Amos is really against Mondays. And Mondays, let's face it, Mondays have been hard. I've been living for 47 years of Mondays. Mondays are tricky. Amos on a Monday is other people exercise. I get Amos to school on Mondays. Like if you tell me, I get up and I go to the gym at 4 and I love it. And then I, do weights and then I run on the treadmill 2 hours and I do the elliptical trainer and then I do a stair class and then I go to Taekwondo. You ain't got nothing on me. Nothing. You get Amos to school on a Monday, and you get a bonus if you get Amos to school on a Monday with glasses on, a backpack on, well, and you get there on time. Sad about Jimmy Carter. Well, so Jimmy Carter is going into hospice, right? How do I subscribe? Ooh, somebody put the link in. I'll put the link in after, Cheryl. I don't mean this in a mean way. Jimmy Carter is old. Is he not? Like I saw this, and I really don't mean that in a mean way, but isn't he like in his 90s? Like at some point, we are all going to die. Are we not? I saw this thing the other day and it was like, we have very sad news. So-and-so who's 97 has died. That's not sad. It's not allowed to be sad. You can be sad because we don't want to lose our people, but it's not sad news. 98. Now, if he were my dad, I would be like, oh, I'm going to really miss him. But this is what life is. This is it, people. This is it. Now, what's sad is if a young person dies, I think that's sad. I think cancer is sad. I think people's house having a fire is sad. But I don't think 98 in hospice is sad. I want to say, game on. He's worked his fanny off. He's done a ton with Habitat for Humanity. This is an amazing man. We are not going to be sad. We're going to say, yay for you, and get ready for your transition to the next world, because it's going to be awesome. It's just me. You might not agree with me. That's okay. I'm normal. I'm not normal. I'm used to that. It's sad because he's such a great humanitarian. He just has so much to give that he isn't ready to give up. Well, I don't know if anybody is ever ready to give it up, are they? I look back at pictures of myself at 30, and I tell you what, I wish I hadn't given up how good I looked. Damn, I didn't even know it. Okay, go on out. Bruce Willis is sad. Yeah, I think the Bruce Willis thing, to me, qualifies more as sad. Like, Bruce Willis is pretty young to have terrible onset dementia. And onset dementia is sad. And I would say that's sad for anybody. I guess it's all relative, right? Like when people say to me, like, you're so me. You don't know how good you've got it. And I'm like, well, you devil, you're on the Facebook and you're telling me how good I've got it. How good do you have it? What if you were living in North Korea? You know? It's sad. Oh, well, I mean, we don't all have to agree either. Yes, of course it's hard when you lose a parent, no matter what age they are. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I would say it's harder for a 5-year-old boy that loses his dad versus a 80-year-old woman that loses her dad. I mean, I think and I will say that as somebody who's lost a brother and grandparents. I remember when my grandmother died, my dad's mother, and she was in her 80s, and we were, we loved her. And my uncle was super upset. And my dad and I were talking about it. And he was like, after you've lost Adam, it's hard to be sad. I love my mom. Or he didn't say, but it's different. So when you bury a 19-year-old, my brother, his son, from cancer, and then you bury your grandmother, or he buried his mother, it's not the same. It's not the same. Renee thinks I need to get the cream dress. I didn't. I pray that I live that long. You looked good at 40, I know. Well, if I live that long, I'm going to start smoking again. Maybe at 90, I'm going to be like, yo, Amos, go get me a pack of, what am I going to smoke? Marlboro Lights or Camel Lights, and get me a slushie and bring those suckers back here. Get me an ashtray, and I'm going to sit right down and I'm going to smoke this pack of cigarettes. And it's going to be fantastic. And I don't want anybody talking to me about it. My last living grandmother's 93. How old are you? I'm 27. I was 27 when I had the quadruplets. No, I'm 47. I'll be 48 in when? In April. Wow. So, Beth smokes. I quit smoking a year ago. I've also lost 30 pounds this past year. And I don't need like an award or anything. But I'm trying to. Your mom smokes at 87, has been smoking since she was 14. Seriously? Golly Moses. Alexander lost my mom last year, 81, trust me. So, I believe it, Alexander. There has to be something. I have both my parents still on this earth. And I can't imagine not having them. And I don't even think, well, here's what I think. I think that when you don't have a parent on this earth, and I have mine, that it almost seems like it would feel like you were just out floating around with no safety net. I don't know why. But it's like your parents love you in a way that nobody else does. And I know my husband loves me, but he doesn't love me like my mama does. Your parents love you. You are first and foremost in life. Yeah, they just love you. And I imagine not having them in this life is just like, I can call my parents and they're so thrilled to talk to me and I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, oh, now they're all talking about smoking. Smoking is terrible for you. This is why I quit. I'm very into quitting smoking. I would also say that smoking for me started really young. I was in high school. I went to school in Winston-Salem, and you could get a pack of cigarettes for $1.25, and you could buy things, Camel Bucks. I mean, there's a reason that cigarette companies got in trouble because they were targeting children, and it worked. It got me. I lost my dad in 87, my mom in 2017. Yes, I agree, Erica. So my mom was 33 or 34 when her mother died. My battery's low. Anyway, my mom lost both her parents pretty young. And I always think, wow, one, she and my dad are super tight, but they've had no kids at home with them now for like 30 years. My husband and I will not have 30 years alone before no grandchildren. Like, we'll never have any alone time. We'll just go from children to grandchildren. And we have a person with autism. So whether or not he lives with us or he's just a part of us, we're never going to have like an empty nest that a lot of you get. And you might say to me, well, you're never really out. But you can go to the grocery store and not have to get someone to sit at home with your person. That's kind of how it is with us. And my husband and I were talking about it yesterday, and it's just something recently we've kind of started talking about. Because it's hard to talk about. It's hard to talk about hard things. It's hard to talk about hard things. Like now, all these people are sitting here saying, I lost my dad, I lost my mom. People, you want to talk about it, and you need to talk about it because it doesn't help not to. If you don't talk about it and just pretend everything is fine, you'll implode. You will implode in some way, and it's not going to work well. I mean, people have some sad stuff happen. Life ain't easy, people. And you don't need to be any Scarlett O'Hara. Oh, everything is fine. I love life. It's wonderful. I've had a wonderful life. Everything is perfect. No. You have got to. We will never have an empty nest either. Blind child with cerebral atrophy. Yeah, nobody loves you like your mama. I would say that. It's true. Oh, Kathy. Parents give you... no, you do not need to be on this couch. You are fine. You are fine. She never smoked. My father, I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments. Both your parents had dementia. Oh, Deborah, that's tough. I went to Salem Academy. I have no one to talk to with that, and I keep it inside. Kim, I don't know if it necessarily has to be to anybody. I think maybe you type it or you say it out loud to someone. He's 9, normal to get sitters at that age. As he gets older, circumstances could change and he could be alone more. Maybe Katie, but maybe not. I mean, I have friends whose children don't walk or talk or use a potty. And I think for me, it's just this understanding that we have different lives. And most of my friends that have a 9-year-old, you can leave a 9-year-old to go take a shower, or you could leave a 9-year-old at home to run to the bus stop, or you could take your 9-year-old to your other child's soccer game or basketball game or to Sunday school at church or out to dinner. So it's not really saying that he's, I'm not picking on you. It's not saying that it's him being 9, But when you belong to a child with a disability, your future is very different than other people's. And my son is physically able to get around, and I'm thankful for that. My son is in a waiver home. He still comes home, very much needs me and comes home. Yeah, I kind of could see that. I hope so. Grown children being impatient with an elderly parent in a store. Oh, well, that's a good point, Kathleen. I bet you're right. I don't know anyone else my age who has lost both parents. Lost my mom at 61. I was 35 with a newborn. Dad passed away 2 years ago. Yeah, it would be hard. Did you get the pink shirt? No. Cerebral palsy, cognitively impaired. So I have to definitely use a different life. Yeah, I'm curious about that, Sue Ann, because I just think, like, what are we going to be doing? Like I was saying to Thomas the other day, like, I don't do a bunch of weekends with girls or anything. And I have friends, and as their children get older, they do more of that kind of stuff, right? Because they're not leaving babies. It's easier to say to their husbands or their spouse, like, see you later, Tater, I'm off. Because if Thomas goes away and I have the kids here, it's not like they're trouble. But we kind of never get out of that, like, newborny toddler stage unless you have a good caregiver, which we do. But still, you just can't, I don't know, it's different. Stay in the present and tackle each bump in the road as it comes, but needed for our sanity. Yeah, but Katie, I also think it's okay to acknowledge the real. And the real is that life might be different and that's okay. I think we can't be like Scarlett O'Hara and say, oh, I'm going to worry about another day. There's some, especially in the South, there is a tendency to la, 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 not talk about hard things. And it's okay to talk about hard things. When you talk about a hard thing, it doesn't own you anymore. So a lot of times I'll write something and somebody will be like, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. I just talked about it and said it out loud, and then it was done. But it makes people uncomfortable. They don't want to talk about hard things because it's like, maybe it makes them feel really vulnerable, or maybe it says to them, hey, you've got hard things too, and I know it, and I want you to think about them. And they're like, I can't think about hard things. I grieved for the parents I never had. I grew up in an orphanage. Well, there you go, Anne. I could see that. I became a grandma at age 37, never had an empty nest. Well, I bet you did not. Lost 5 siblings and my husband, 15 years. Oh, Barbara. 5-year-old with Rett syndrome, 2-year-old with recent diagnosis of autism. Feeling so... Oh, I'm trying to read your comment, Aaron. No, well, let me read it. Well, Aaron, I can't read it, but just know that I am sending you lots of love and prayers, and you reach out to me if you need to. Feeling so isolated, is what I'm guessing you were about to say. Yeah, it's isolating. And when you have 2 children with disabilities, talk about isolating. Because you can't run out on the weekend, you can't go to the grocery store. You and your husband are like needed to be right here doing everything. It's true. We were saying yesterday about Amos, I was like, it's just we're going to have a different future. And I don't really know what it's going to be like, but it's going to be different. And it's hard. And it was so nice for my husband and I to say, boy, this is hard. But then I said, but I can't imagine life without Amos in it. It's not that I don't want him in it. He was like, I know, right? I don't think it's just a Southern thing. Hubby and I need to have the talk since he is turning 60 in August, and we just avoid it. Yes, I am thankful to have my husband. I am, Gail. I sure am. Marla, I sure love you. I got to send your present out tomorrow, Marla. A loss is a loss. No one's loss is harder than someone else's because it's happening to you. That's a good way to say it. Will Amos be able to live alone? No, he will not, Rachel. I mean, autism is a great big wide spectrum. So lots of people can live alone with autism. I mean, you might have somebody say to you, oh, my doctor has autism. That is not Amos. I don't know what his future is going to be like. I think there's a tendency to say, well, you don't know what he's going to be able to do. This is true. But I also don't, I also can be realistic. Like, Amos is not going to drive a car, and that's okay. Like, there's nothing that says you have to drive a car to be an amazing human being. I don't see Amos living alone. Do I see Amos living not with us? Yes, I hope so. I want Amos to have a full, wonderful life without us someday, in it every second. And I hope that happens, and we want to make that happen. I want his siblings to enjoy him and to be his sibling, but I don't want them to be his caretakers, full-time caretakers. We're so glad to have him. More work, but great joy, said Debbie. Yes, I believe it. I believe it, Debbie. And it's a big thing. Parents, it's just a big thing to have a child that is not going to grow up in the way that they typically do. Oh, Kelly lost her son in October 2022. Sorry, Kelly. My one and only was born when I was 37. Well, Sally, I was 38 when I had Amos. Our family never would talk about his condition ever. I always celebrated him and always will. 62-year-old autistic uncle. Oh. Lost my firstborn 40 years ago. She had brain damage from a birthing mistake. She was 2.5. Sweet Michelle. Yes, you will, Seer. Never imagined this would be our life. My son is Thursday and can't drive a car, but he loves his golf cart. Now, that's a thought. I haven't thought about Amos driving a golf cart. Oh, God, I hear somebody coughing. I tell you what, if anybody thinks COVID is over, it's not. Nor is the norovirus, strep throat, and the flu. So I have a big work trip in 2 weeks from yesterday. And I'm taking my family on the work trip. The work trip is skiing. I'm like, please, people, don't get sick. Please don't get sick. My son will never be able to live on his own. His autism is caused by a severe traumatic brain injury. 53, I pray to be around for many years. I know you do, Renee. 3 open heart surgeries. Wow. Well-run group home for Amos. His siblings could pick him up for a day. I think so too, Marla. And Marla is an adult with disabilities. So I think so too, Marla. That would be perfect. That would be perfect. Wish my friend Mary that was on the cruise could have talked to you about the group home she was house mother for. The parents got together and built the home for their children. Oh, I wish she had too. I own my own car but can't drive it, said Kimber. Kimber, well, that's good that you have a car. Then I guess somebody else can drive you around. That might be even more amazing. Is Elon Musk autistic? If Elon Musk is autistic, then I don't even know what to say about that. At what age would Amos go to a group home? Well, I can't honestly, Rhonda, like the idea of that question makes me feel ill. I, I, why is it that like the word group home feels so terrible? And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I know. Words, you want words. Yeah, it feels terrible. But it's not necessarily terrible. I don't know. I do not know. I really don't. I used to think that I was planning my life and it was going to just be this thing that I had it all together. And I knew that I was going to have these children. I was going to be done having them by the time I was like, I don't know, 25 or something. I've given up on making these amazing plans like that because they don't seem to ever go the way I think they're going to go. But you know what? I like my life. It's pretty damn good. It's not the one I picked out, but it's a good one. And I don't even know if I'd want that old life. You know how terrible I'd be if I'd gotten that old life? I wouldn't be fit to be lived with. I wouldn't be fit to live with. I think choosing to keep a special needs adult home or choosing a group living situation are both great choices. Well, Kathleen, I don't disagree with you. The problem is when you have a child with a disability, most likely your child will outlive you. So I can't have Amos live with me forever because he will live longer than me. So I have to be, and for me, I am thinking about very long term. I'm thinking about Amos in his 80s when I am not here. Because I was 38 when I had him. Amos in his 40s. So I have to be thinking about the fact that I will not be on this earth forever. And that is a real hard thing for a special needs parent to talk about. There's not much harder, which is why they don't like to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it either, but I have to talk about it because it's reality. And I want Amos, I don't want something to happen to me and Amos just to be thrown to the wolves and losing his mom at the same time. I want his life to be transitioned in a way that he's not dependent on me for his survival. And yes, he will love me and he does love me, but I don't want him to think, I don't want to do all those. I can't imagine how that would be to him, you know? My husband worked in a group home for the last 35 years. He's fantastic with residents. He's amazing. Oh, yes, I think it can be good. And I know a group of young men that live in a group home here. And I really enjoyed getting to know them. And they are happy. They have volunteer at the Habitat store and they're happy. And I've said, like, Brandon, do you like it? Why can't they call the group home something else? I don't know. Because it sucks. I don't know. Listening to you, I feel like I need to subscribe. You have brought reality to me. Well, I'd like for you to subscribe, but my subscriber page is kind of smaller. So, and we do special topics. You also get to see more kind of what life in the Woodhouse is like. So, like, my husband did a video the other night about the Murdaugh murders, or you might get to see Amos or Blair or cook muffins. Or today, after the fashion show, I did a subscriber video so people could ask the store owner questions and they could look at all the clothes. I mean, it's just silly, but it's nice. You're a beautiful, wonderful mom. So glad you got to go on the cruise. It was a good cruise. The wait lists are so long. Well, that's probably true. You'll know what to do when the time comes. I probably won't know what to do. I generally don't know what to do. That's kind of my life. Community living. Oh, that sounds nice, Barb. His siblings will step up. My sister-in-law never left home. Well, tragically suffered. My sister-in-law never left home and will suffer tragic loss when she loses her parents and then has to move. Okay, so Nicole, that's what I don't want to happen. And I don't want my children, his siblings, or maybe your brother, your husband is her brother. Do you then feel like you need to have her live with you? And if you do, or you want to, that's wonderful. And I would love it if my children wanted that. But I don't want that for them. And I also value that Amos is an amazing person and needs to have his own life. And he likes to do fun things. He doesn't want to just sit in somebody's house while they're living a life and he's just sitting around doing nothing. Amos is like, wants to travel, you know? So I don't know what he's going to be doing. Oh, thank you, Jordan. But he likes to do something, you know? Many of us are high-functioning autistic with social and personal problems in our lives, planning now for his future. Other children conferences, life is uncertain. You could lose you and your husband, much younger than 78 in a few short years. Yes, you're right, Tina. You're right. And we have a plan if something were to happen to us. But I mean, I'm not planning to that would be an emergency situation. I was guardian of my college roommate's brother with Down syndrome. He outlived all his siblings. He lived in group home for 25 years, had friends, a part-time job. His parents did the hard part and planned as well as they could. Never imagined he would outlive his siblings. Isn't that the truth? Thank you, Robin, for doing that. And just thank you. Thank you. Mom and Dad took over my grandmother's group homes. They called it a family care home. Oh, that's nice. Tell me how to surrender the grief, the feeling of it's not fair and it shouldn't be this way. You know, Aaron, I don't know how you do that. I think you don't surrender the grief. I think you feel it. And it might take you a while. And you cry and you acknowledge and you grieve. And then grieving, I think, helps you move forward, you know, and I think it makes a difference, you know. But you might not be time for you to stop grieving. Maybe you're in the middle of grieving. You know, when I started writing 6 or 7 years ago, I grieved the death of my big brother because I had never done that before. He had cancer. And I really grieved him hard for about 2 years. And I was grieving Amos, and that's really what happened. I had this little boy with autism, and I was grieving, and I didn't know that you could grieve somebody that wasn't going to die. I just had no idea what that feeling would feel like, you know? But I had to move through those feelings. You could buy the house and have more control of who cares for him and who lives with him. Well, that's true, Patricia. That's a good point. Oh, thank you, Brooke. My son is 26 and lives with us. He is autistic and also has diabetes. Boy, I bet that's hard. He depends on us. I don't like to think about who will care for him. I need to, though. Yeah, Julie. I mean, we do. Julie, you would like my subscriber group. And my friend Carrie Curiello, her page, her son Jack is 18 and living in like kind of a group situation and does a college program. And she's really helpful at getting like people that come on her page and talk about these things. Yeah, we just gotta, I feel, you know, I can't be the expert on every topic. And I'm hardly the expert on many other than like what not to do when it involves eating a stack of cookies. But I will tell you, like, that honesty, like you saying that to me, I don't like to think about it, but I need to. That's like the first step almost, right? Like just acknowledging, we got to think about this. We got to talk about this. We got to figure this out, and we can do this. We can do hard things. We can do hard things. And nobody can do hard things better than a special needs mama. Marla is an adult with a disability that's a subscriber on my page, and I adore her. And she's talking about when her parents took her to look at group homes and they observed them. And so this is Marla has an apartment, and then she always has different roommates in her apartment. Helps us make better decisions, said Gary. Yeah. We will not know what to do, not to mention we now live in Virginia. Yeah, I'm sorry, Nicole. I think if you can talk to your in-laws and say, hey, we want this to be let's make this easier, than it has been. He loves it. He's 32 and lives in a small group home. Your grandson. Oh, that's nice to hear. And my daughter is in her late 40s. It's a scary, scary thing to think about. Yeah. Is tiptoe behind you. People tend to underplan for the future because the conversations are so difficult. Have the hard conversations. You will not regret it. Thank you, Linda. People have pushed me to move her out before we are ready. Amos is not going to get married. Amos will meet a nice girl. Lord help us. No. You haven't subscribed, Lori, but you can. Somebody's got to put I'll put the link up after the video, okay? Safety. Yeah, I agree. Yes. I want Amos safe, and I want him loved, and I want him happy, and I want him to be well cared for, and I want other people to love him the way that I do. Boy, I want that. I don't want much more in life more. That's what family does. I think a child should transition from living away from parents. Yeah, I do think so too, Deborah. For me, I think I've seen families and their child is maybe in their 40s, and it's really hard because you want your kids to. Yes, I think if I said to my other 3 children, you all are going to have to take care of Amos, of course they would. But I don't want that for them. I want them to be his brother. I want him to be the brother. Amos is tough too. He's hard and he's tiring. And I want them to have full, complete lives. And I want Amos to have a full, complete life. Amos doesn't want to live with Blair. Amos wants to have a plan and go on trips. That's what Amos wants to do. Amos needs to be sponsored by an airline, a train company, and maybe a hotel. Amtrak, Hampton Inn, and Delta Airlines. And then McDonald's for hamburgers. Amos is good with that. He can travel and eat. Oh, that's nice to hear, Connie. Video you made about the Winelda Diaries. Oh, that's so sweet, Casey. Casey, I tell you what, you subscribe, Casey, to me and send me a message with your Venmo, and I'll Venmo you and pay for the first 3 months, okay? So you do that. If somebody really wants to subscribe, I'll pay for you to subscribe. I'm happy to, especially if you have a child with a disability. So we can make that happen. I don't ever want somebody that is really needs a tribe not to have one because of $5. I love the plan for Amos. I do too. Maybe he could go get a job. Amos and Tyler can travel. I mean, I guess it's nice though, right, Christy? Because I know my friend Kate Swenson, she has a blog called Finding Cooper's Voice, and we're super tight. And she's like, Cooper doesn't want to go places. I'm like, oh, Amos sure wants to go places. I mean, he is ready to go. Well, you're welcome, Casey. Come on over. Just send me a message and I'll be looking for it. Because me struggle with the messages. Facing the truth hasn't taken her children to be diagnosed. You know, Dee, there are people out there, it is really hard to, deal with some of this stuff. Signing up our almost 15-year-old granddaughter to go to a week-long camp. First time away from us, not with family or close friends. Patricia, that's awesome. That is awesome. We have some really good camps in North Carolina for children with disabilities. Amos is 8. Wait, is Amos 8 or 9? I'm losing my mind. 2013. He's 9. My God. My mother was trying to tell me that he was turning 10. So I'm not quite ready for that yet, but I am getting closer. Oh, you're reading that book now? Yay, I just subscribed. I'm from Canada. Welcome. We have some good Canadians. In fact, I had Canadians that came to my weekend in Edenton last year. And then on our cruise, we had a cruise, and I had 85 subscribers come on the cruise with us. And we're getting ready to pick our fall weekend, and then we have another January trip next year. It has not been announced yet. This is a fun group, people. I mean, I'm telling you, we do fun stuff. It's fun. It's tiring, but it's fun. He's 9. You know your people love you when you ask how old your own child is, and they tell you. And there's no mockery. Except Catherine. She's laughing at me. I laugh at myself. I mean, y'all. Yes, I know we went on a helicopter ride for his birthday, but I couldn't remember how old he turned. And you're Canadian. Lego. Amos could work for Lego. He liked Lego. Anyway, I'm so happy I subscribe. I don't have a child with a disability, but I work with them in school. And I like how you do talk about hard stuff. Oh, well, I'm good. What's the fall weekend like? Well, I want to go on the trips. Well, you better become a subscriber, Aaron. Come on. They're only open to subscribers. And the reason I do that is because I live in a town of 5,000, and we had almost 200 people come last year, and there will be more this year. And if I didn't limit it, we might scare people, and they would like run me out of here. So the fall weekend, last year we did it during the garden tour. But this year, instead of piggybacking on a weekend, like where there's a tour, I'm going to have my own, basically, Edenton Invasion weekend. And the town of Edenton has expressed to me they are ready and willing, and we are going to have, it's going to be fun. Crazy town and fun. I'm hoping we're going to have a band play one night. Downtown, we will have some house tours. We will have some barbecue. We will have some boat rides. We will have just some fun. Lots of fun. Come the next time to Edenton. Well, get yourself and be a subscriber, and you can sign up to come. What do you do for the weekend in Edenton? I mean, all you people aren't even subscribers, and y'all want to come see me. What does that do? When you're a subscriber, well, it means you get to come to Edenton. And it just means I do a video every day. You get kind of, it's more behind the scenes. And on my subscriber videos are more conversations and less me talking. When we're in you resubscribed. Yay, Alan. When you are we're on a video, like, and you get to pick topics. So we have a couple topics this week that have been picked by subscribers. And that's really nice. Oh, thank you, Donna. It's nice to let people pick topics. Like one topic we did this week for my subscribers was I did a tutorial on how to make a reel. Where would you fly into, Raleigh or Norfolk? Shop at the downtown Diva shop. I know. Oh yeah, I bet Candace would have a shopping event for us. How close is your closest airport? The Norfolk airport is like an hour and 15 minutes away. And Raleigh is 2 hours. Amos wants to be a new pastor for North Korea. More personal. Yes, it is, Judith. And Judith knows because Judith just was on my cruise with us. And we prefer 2 videos a day as subscribers. Oh my God. Suzette. And Suzette was on my cruise too. And Judith, we busted in Judith's room before we got in trouble with the security on the boat. We have do we know when? I got to tell the subscriber group first. I can't announce it on this big page. I do. I became a subscriber. Well, Rhonda, I don't see the little star by your name. I am a subscriber. It's not showing up. Arlene, were you able to see both videos this afternoon? So I did the fashion show video, and then right after it, I did another video. You gonna put us all in your house? Negative, Ghost Rider. No way, Jose. Maybe time to subscribe. Yes. Come on, Lindsay. It's fun. How close are you to Burlington? I reckon about 3 hours. Yeah, not too far. Thank you, Brooke. 16 cents a day. And I know that is a lot for some people. A bit far from Australia. Well, Margie, you might have to stay longer. So we had people from Canada come, California. Suzette's from California. And they came early and stayed late and then went with groups of people and then went to the beach and did all sorts of fun stuff. What if a person uses a walker? Like me, said Bonnie. I do not go much. Are we able to come? Yes, you are, Bonnie. So we had on our cruise 2 people who were 84. One of them had a walker, one of my subscribers, came by herself on the cruise and did great. I mean, it was fun. I'm telling you. This is good times, people. Good times. Okay, I'm going to take a shower or bath before I go to bed. Tomorrow's Monday. I got to get Amos to school. That's the goal. Oh, I guess Ann Dale and I are going to do Positive Monday. Ugh, I don't feel like being positive on Mondays. If you subscribe, if you're out there wondering, you go ahead and subscribe. And at 30 days, if you send me a message and say, Adrian, this was a waste. You bamboozled me. I will send you $5 back. Adrian, if I subscribe now, can I watch subscriber videos in the past? Oh, yes, sirree, Bobby. Yes, you can. You can watch all the videos. And lately, I've been putting old ones up. Particularly the ones with my husband. Real funny. Real funny. They funny. Support the siblings of young kids with autism. Oh, that's a good idea, Rayanne. Okay. Well, my son Russell texted me yesterday. Well, Anne's watching. She just said tomorrow. Yes, Anne. We'll do tomorrow. Darn it. And Russell has no money. He has $4 in his checking account. And I said, do you want me to go ahead and give you your allowance for March? And he's 15. And he said, no. So, I mean, he has food to eat. But of course he wants to go do fun things. And he said, but when I get home, we're doing lots of videos. So that would be a good one, Rayanne, to do with my subscribers. I'm going to pay Russell by the hour to do some videos with me. So maybe that would be helpful. and actually a great way for us to talk too. He's not as keen on being on the big videos, but the subscriber videos, my teenagers feel more comfortable on that. Anyway, we have school tomorrow too. Ugh. Yeah, they have school tomorrow. Hell yeah, they do. Thank goodness. How do I subscribe? I'm going to put the link up right now. And subscribers, see you tomorrow morning at 8:15ish. And Dale Homestead and I will be at the coffee shop. And Dale is very perky and positive, and I'm foul on Mondays. So it's a good combo. Carry on, people. We have school tomorrow. I don't know why you fools think I don't have school. I wish we didn't, but we do. Yes, we have school tomorrow. We have school tomorrow. I love Russell videos. I know, right? So Russell has been against videos, but now that he's broke, he's totally in. Goodbye. I'm so glad, Marie.